Hello guys, welcome to today's Lit Code Challenge. Today we're going to solve this issue. Hello guys, welcome to today's Lit Code Challenge. Today we're going to solve the Is Subsequence Lit Code question. So you're given two strings, S and T. You're supposed to return true if S is a subsequence of T or false otherwise. So you're given an example. S is ABC, T is AH, BG, CDC. We should return true. Why? Because ABC is a subsequence of T. Following this instruction, a subsequence of a string is a new string that is formed from the original string by deleting some characters. It can be none of the characters without disturbing the relative positions of the remaining character. So, for example, to elaborate this, I have this like as a comment ABC. You can clearly see that if we remove H from here and we remove G again and we remove D, we have the resulting string, so we should return true in this case. But in the last example, in this example, let me copy it again. If I copy it again, we have A. So if I remove H, we don't need it, and we don't need B again, we don't need G, we don't need D. Yeah, we have the resulting value is AC. So meaning that this one is not equal to this value, so we should return false, as they say here. Okay, so what's the approach that we should use? So in this case, they have already told us that the S and T consists of only lowercase English letters, so we don't need to do any conversion when we are checking. So my first take would be to loop through the array, through the elements. Of course, we will make it's already a string. You can loop through the characters in the string and see if that value is in the next string, right? But of course, you can use a while loop. That means that you'll be going through the elements at once. Actually, the best one would be to use a two-point approach, or a two-point approach, where I will be marking the index of the current of my current location and the index of the current location at T, and I'll be comparing if they are equal. If they are not equal, I'll need to increment the value, the index at the next string. So what I mean is, I can have index of S index S to be 0, index T to be 0 again, and also I can say length S is equals to length of string S, and length T is equals to length of string T, right? So after this, we just need to make sure that we are in the brackets. So I'll say, well, index S is less than the length of S, right? What we want to do is to track the indexes, of course, and while I'm going through. So for example, here we have ABC, and we have A, H, B, G, D, C, for example, and we have the index S marked at 0 and index T marked at 0. Yeah, so at the first time we need to check if the value at index S of course index S is to help us go through the element at S. So you need to check if index S is still in the parameters of the length of the value S, and also check if index S is equal to the value at index T. So in this case, A is equals to A, so it has already passed the test. So now we increment index S to 1 and index T to 1 also, right? And then we go to the next value. Now our index is at b, so b is not equal to h. So in that case, we just increment index t until to the point where we find index s, we find this value b, right? So we go to the next h, and we realize that h, okay, so index t is 2, and its value is b. Now we are sure that b is equals to b. In that case, now we increment index s and index t to 3, 2, 3, right? And after that, I go also to the next value and say c, is c equals to g. In this case, is c equals to g? No, it's not equal to g. So we increment index t by 1 and go to the next value, which is d, and compare is c equals to d, which is false. 5 again, same until we reach a point where we have c exactly. So once we get that the elements match, we increment index s and index t. Yeah. So how we will know that the element is a subsequence? We just need to compare the value of the index to the length of the first string. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so this is what you are going to do. While index s is less than the length of s, because we don't care about this value. It's not a must to traverse the whole elements, as long as we can just find this abc inside it. So that's why we are using this one. While index s is less than length of the s, we need to check if the element, okay, let me write this. Okay, I can also say and index t is less than the length at t. Yeah, in that case, we need to check if the value, if s index s is equals to t index t. So in this case, we just need to increment the both indexes, index s and index t. Yeah, otherwise, if, let me just write a leaf, if they are not equal, you don't need a leaf. If they are not equal, then that means that we are going to increment index t. So in that case, we're just incrementing index t, right? Yeah, just to this one loop, and after that we're going to return the value index s is equals to length of s. Yeah, so let me dry run the code. We have the value s as abc, and we have the value t as we have the value s as abc, we have the value t as ahb gdc. Okay, so the length of s in this case is 1, 2, 3. So let me write here. So okay, let me just, so the length here is 3 at first, 3, and here the length is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So while index s is less than the length of the s, index s is currently is 0, sorry. So at first index s is 0. Let me write this here, 0, and index t is 0, and we are comparing, and also index t is less than, which is less than that, and so this one matches. So in that case, we increment the value by 1, so it becomes 1. Same to this one. Okay, go to the next value. We are at index 1. So we are comparing again this value b equals to index 1 of t, which is not equal. So we increment t. Oh, we need to increment. What did I do here? So in that case we increment t to 2. We increment t to 2. Okay, we go to the next value. So we are at 2. B is equals to b. So in that case we increment both index s and index t. So in this case we have the value here. Where is it? Here we are at 2 and here we are at 3, right? And then we go to the next. B is equals to b. So index 2 is here, c. So note that c is less than 2 is less than the length of 3, which is okay. So we compare c and index 3, which is g. It's not matching, so in that case we increment g to 4. We compare c with d, not matching, we increment to 5. C to c, it matches, so we increment to 6, and also this one we increment to 3. And then we compare, is 3 equal to the length of 3, which is true. So, okay, so that is it. If I run the program, I'm expecting to get, okay, indentation errors. Just need to okay, let me do this. Yeah, so while, okay, do this and let me try to run it again. Yeah, you can see it's working as expected. And also if I submit, yeah, you can see it beats 94% speed wise and 33% memory wise. Yeah, maybe later we can try to analyze this and see where we can improve on it. Thank you. And it also takes complexity of O of n and the space complexity of O of 1, because we are not adding anything here, anything near here. Exactly. Yeah, thank you.